Hi, this is an information film from Caritas Norway about being an agricultural seasonal worker in Norway. Seasonal work means that the work can only be carried out at certain times of the year, therefore temporary. For example, when it comes to the harvesting of fruits and berries. We will touch a bit on what you can expect as a worker in agriculture in Norway and what rights, rules, and obligations you have as an employee. Caritas Norway is a humanitarian organization with headquarters in Oslo, and together with local Caritas offices, we run resource center in many Norwegian cities that are Oslo, Bergen, Trondheim, Tromsø, Stavanger, and Arendal. At these centers, among other things, we provide information, guidance, and legal advice in several languages. You can also contact us by phone, regardless of where you are, and get guidance. Caritas has a duty of confidentiality. This means that when you contact us, you can remain anonymous, and we will not inform on or report on what is said without your consent. We will give you more information at the end of this film on how to contact us.
Hi, I'm Anders Hørte. I run Hørte Gård, our farm, half an hour outside of Oslo. We do vegetables, both organic and conventional. We have been increasing the last years, and now we are into about 100 hectares of vegetables. Growing season is from the start of April until the end of October. Our harvesting season is from the very 1st of June until the end of October then. We are lucky to have employees from different kind of cultures. We have people working with us from Poland, Ukraine, Vietnam, and now the Philippines as well. A normal day, if there's anything like a normal day in farming, starts in the morning. Normally we start 6 o'clock. Some teams start 7 o'clock. Depends on the weather and depends on the climate. We have to do work when it's possible to work. We work for 4 hours in the fields, and then we go home. We have a 1 hour break, and we go back to the fields. A normal day should be about 7 till 9 hours a day. When we recruit, when the team leaders, they also recruit themselves. They recruit people who are social, who are actually want to work and respect other people. Because to work at Hørte Gård is like a 24/7, because we offer you a place to live. You have to be a team player to work here. To have knowledge is really important. Okay, yes, we can build you as a person, but if you are interested in technical things, we are positive. If you are interested in biology, we have positions for you. But it's like the most important thing is that you're interested in working when there's work, that you really like to work hard. To work in a farm is not a relax. To work in a farm is like, when I'm finished with my day, I feel that I have been working.
Many employers offer seasonal employees to rent housing that is adjacent to the farm. Some also offer food. If costs for rent or food in such cases are to be deducted directly from the salary, this must be stated in the employment contract or in a separate agreement. This housing must maintain a certain standard, and there must be enough space to be able to have a private life and to be able to rest. Housing provided by the employer must have bedroom with window that can be opened. The bedroom must be large enough for the number of people who will live there, and there must be a living room in addition to the bedroom. There must be at least 1 toilet and 1 shower per 4 to 5 employees. Laundry room with a washing machine and drying facilities for clothes. Dining room with the possibility of cooking, dining area, dining tables and chairs. The housing must follow all the necessary fire safety measures. There must be fire alarms, fire extinguishers, an exit path, and an emergency exit or exits. Everyone who works in Norway is entitled to a written employment contract. There are no exceptions to this rule. If for some reason you do not have a written agreement, an oral agreement will count as binding as a written one. It is important to emphasize that an employment contract is not valid in the clauses that are in violation of the law, even if both the employer and the employee have signed the agreement. It is therefore not allowed for the employer to pay you less in salary than the minimum wage, even though you signed such an agreement, and you are not allowed to work more than hours than it is allowed, even if you want to. An employment contract must contain the following instructions: names of employees and employers, this means who the contract applies to; salary, this includes any additions that are not included in the basic salary, as well as the date for the salary payment; the workplace, that is where the work will be performed; a description of the work and tasks and/or the employer's title or positions; the date when the employment relationship starts; duration of the employment relationship, and the reasons why the position is temporary, and if this is the case, as it is for seasonal workers; any rules for probation; the employer's right to holiday and holiday pay; deadlines and rules for notice period for both parties; working hours; length of breaks; if housing and/or subsistence is considered part of the salary or deducted directly from income, this must be specified in the contract or in a separate agreement. An employment contract should be written in a language that both the employer and employee understand. If you do not understand everything in the agreement or have a question related to certain points, then you should have this explained before you sign the agreement. If you need help with this, we here at Caritas can assist you.
Mam na imię Artur, jestem z Polski, pracuję tutaj od 17 lat. Praca w rolnictwie jest pracą ciężką i wymagającą. Daje satysfakcję, ale osoba, która pracuje, musi wiedzieć, że musi dać z siebie jak najwięcej innym, żeby po prostu coś dostać w zamian, tak? Na pewno taka osoba musi wiedzieć, że praca jest ciężka, że nie jest to po prostu lekka praca. Musi chcieć pracować i zdawać sobie sprawę, że nieraz będzie zmęczona, ale jeśli będzie pracowała dobrze, na pewno będzie zadowolona.
The minimum wage for seasonal workers in agriculture is 123.15 kroner. Some farms also offer what is called Piecework Pay, akkordlønn in Norwegian, which means that you can earn extra if you work hard and fast. This is only a bonus. In Norway, in addition to the salary, you get something called holiday pay. This holiday pay amounts to a minimum of 10.2% of your salary, and it is paid when the employment relationship ends. In Norway, there are clear limits to how long employees can work. Normal working hours in Norway are 7.5 hours per day. But you can work up to 9 hours in a period of 24 hours, or 40 hours in 7 days. If there's a special need, the employer can impose overtime work, but never more than 10 hours in 7 days, or 25 hours in 4 consecutive weeks. The employer cannot force you to work longer than what is allowed, but you also are not allowed to work longer, even though you may want to do this to make more money. It is the employer's duty to ensure that the employees are provided with protective clothing or equipment if such clothing or equipment are necessary to ensure safety in the workplace. The employer must also provide information and necessary training for the use of this equipment and will ensure that this is used by the employer. Regardless of whether you're Norwegian from the EU or EEA area, or from a country outside the EU, EEA, you as an employee in Norway are entitled to have safe working conditions. The employer must ensure safety in the workplace and take out an insurance for you in the event of an accident while you're at work. Timesheets. The employer must have a system for counting the hours you work. If the employer does not have such a system, it is recommended that you keep timesheets yourself. Payslip. This is a document that shows your income before tax, how much tax you pay, how much is set aside as holiday pay, and any deductions. If your salary is not fixed, you will also find the number of hours worked and how much you earn per hour. The payslip is your receipt. You should keep it and check it if it is correct every month. You have the right to receive a payslip for every salary payment you get. Salary payments. The main rule is that you get paid via deposit into a bank account, either a Norwegian bank account or an account you have in your home country. If you're entitled to sufficient training so that you can complete the job safely and sufficiently, the employee must pay in the salary for the training period. The employment agreement lasts, in principle, until the end date stated in the employment contract. If one of the parties wants to resign within that time, there are clear rules on how this should be done. Both parties must comply with the notice period, which must be stated in the employment contract. The notice period for seasonal workers is usually 1 month. A dismissal or resignation must always be in writing for both parties. It is not allowed that an employer dismisses an employee without a compelling reason. In some farms, recruitment takes place through a third party, such as a recruitment company or a responsible recruitment person. There's also a superintendent, often who works for the farmer in carrying out communication tasks, providing information to the workers, assisting with visas, wage payments, and so forth. This person often speaks the same language as the workers on the given farm. It is especially important for you as an employee to know your rights regarding payments, working hours, living conditions, and much more. This is so that you can raise non-compliance matters with your employer directly or contact Caritas for advice. Knowing your rights is also important if you experience that the recruitment manager or supervisor is providing incorrect information or makes unreasonable requests for you as an employee, including payment of expenses or others. And in closing, remembering all these rules and obligations is not easy. The Norwegian Labor Inspection Authority, Arbeidstilsynet, is an independent agency that works to make sure that Norwegian companies and businesses comply by rules regarding environment health and work safety. Arbeidstilsynet also works with combating work-related crimes. In their website, they have a lot of information regarding rights, rules, and obligations of employment in several languages. Caritas can also give you advice, information, and guidance. We can also help you with legal advice and in matters related to tax card, work visas, and much more that are related to rights and obligations of employment. As mentioned in the introduction, we speak several languages and our telephone lines are open from Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can also contact us by Facebook or by email.